Do you feel trapped in your own thoughts? Do you have trouble stopping worrying or overthinking? In this video, we'll look at 11 simple strategies to detox your mind and find inner peace. We'll talk about how ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus managed their thoughts and emotions, and how their principles can be applied to your everyday life. Learn how to focus on the present, let go of what you can't control, simplify your decisions, and more. Each strategy includes powerful insights from philosophers that will help you live with greater clarity, less anxiety, and a calmer mind. Don't miss these keys to stopping overthinking and living with greater serenity. 1. Get rid of mental overload. Understanding mental overload. Mental overload is a condition in which our minds are so full of thoughts, tasks, and worries that we lose the ability to think clearly. This condition can manifest as constant, uncontrollable thoughts, blurred vision, and anxiety, where it seems like there is an endless to-do list spinning around in our heads. This condition increases stress levels, reduces productivity, and heightens negative emotions. It also causes the brain to be constantly on edge, making rest and relaxation nearly impossible. How mental overload gets in the way. When your mind is overloaded with unnecessary thoughts, it becomes difficult to focus on one thing at a time, make decisions, and manage your time effectively. For example, if you spend the night thinking about everything you need to do the next day, and mulling over these tasks, you are more likely to have trouble falling asleep. This, in turn, creates even more stress, especially when rest does not bring relief. Steps to reduce mental overload. 1. Create a to-do list on paper or in an app. Writing things down helps free your mind from the pressure of remembering everything. By writing down your tasks on paper or digitally, you create an external storage source and help your brain feel relieved that it no longer has to hold everything in your head. When you make a to-do list, prioritize them so you know what to focus on first and what can wait. 2. Establish a daily planning practice. Taking 5-10 minutes in the morning or evening to think through your upcoming tasks will help you organize your thoughts and set clear goals for the day. Doing this regularly will help you prepare for the days with less stress, and unexpected tasks will seem less daunting because everything is structured. 3. Identify and filter mental noise. Try to identify what thoughts most often overwhelm your mind. Perhaps they are worries about work, the future, or unfinished business. Once you become aware of these thoughts, you can consciously filter them. For example, if you are worrying about things that you cannot change or that are beyond your control, try to learn to let them go. 11 simple strategies to detox your mind and stop overthinking. Letting go of the unnecessary. By letting go of mental noise, you also learn to let go of things that do not have long-term significance. This could be related to relationships, material things, or even momentary stresses. For example, if you are faced with a conflict with a coworker, questioning whether the conflict has real significance in the final picture of your life may lead you to decide that it is better to leave it behind and move on. In addition, many of us sometimes overload our minds with insignificant things. Thoughts about what happened yesterday, fears about what might happen tomorrow, or worries about what others think. This habit keeps us from enjoying the present moment. By silently reminding yourself of the fleeting nature of existence, you can reduce your anxiety and begin to appreciate what you have right now. Practical methods to free yourself from mental noise. You can use several methods. First, practice meditation or mindfulness, taking the time to simply sit in silence and observe your thoughts without getting involved in them. This helps create distance between you and the mental noise. Second, it is helpful to keep a journal in which you can write down your thoughts and feelings. This can provide a space to free your head of worries, which in turn will make them more manageable. Third, try to avoid multitasking and focus on one task at a time. This will increase your productivity and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. Conclusion. Overall, clearing out mental noise is an important step towards a clearer and more conscious existence. By reminding yourself of the fleeting nature of life, you are able to focus on what is truly important, freeing your mind from excess thoughts and stress. This will not only lead to greater inner peace, but will also allow you to enjoy every moment in life. Start implementing these practices today and watch your life change. 2. The practice of quiet reflection. What is quiet reflection and its purpose? The practice of quiet reflection is the ability to set aside time to quietly observe your thoughts without judgment, reaction, or attempts to change them. Unlike active analysis, when we strive for solutions or conclusions, quiet reflection allows you to create a moment of silence, to recognize and let go of thoughts. This practice helps to gain clarity, reduce stress, and improve mental health. In the conditions of modern information overload and constant interaction with gadgets, the ability to find moments of silence becomes extremely useful. This practice allows you to learn to perceive your thoughts detachedly, without reacting to each one as a command to act or mandatory reasoning. How quiet reflection helps. Quiet reflection allows you to weaken control over thoughts, giving them the opportunity to simply pass without lingering. This helps to reduce anxiety, because we learn to separate ourselves from thoughts. Not all of them require analysis and reaction. Over time, the practice creates space for awareness and ordering of thoughts, which significantly reduces the feeling of mental overload. How to practice quiet contemplation. A step-by-step guide. 1. Find a time and place. To begin, set aside 5-10 minutes a day and choose a quiet, secluded place where you will not be distracted. This could be a quiet corner of the house, a park, or even a room with dim lights. It is advisable to turn off your phone and other sources of distraction. 2. Sit comfortably and relax. Sit comfortably, with your back straight but not tense, and close your eyes. Place your hands on your knees or in a comfortable position. Breathe deeply, feeling the air fill and leave your lungs, slowing the rhythm of your breathing. Relax your shoulders, neck, and face, allowing your body to come to a state of rest. 3. Observe your thoughts. Allow thoughts to come and go freely, like clouds in the sky. Don't try to analyze or control them. Just notice that they are there. Imagine that you are an observer standing on the bank of a river, with thoughts flowing through you. This creates a sense of detachment from the thought process and allows you to realize that thoughts are just events in the mind, not who you are. 4. Don't judge or react. This is the key. Don't judge your thoughts or try to find meaning in them. Even if a thought seems important, simply notice it, but resist the temptation to analyze or formulate a relationship to it. This is a time for observing, not deciding. 5. Focus on your breathing to bring you back to the moment. If thoughts become too intrusive and begin to take over your attention, gently return your focus to your breathing. Feel the air passing through your nostrils and returning, helping you return to a state of calm. This helps you not to get carried away by thoughts and maintain a calm focus. 7. Practice memento mori to focus on what matters. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of memento mori helps us focus on our priorities and reduce our mental load. While it may sound grim, reflecting on the brevity of life allows us to see things from a clearer perspective and let go of what doesn't really matter. Memento mori, which means remember to die in Latin, is a philosophical concept that has roots in antiquity and has become a staple of Stoic philosophy. While it may sound grim, reflecting on the brevity of life actually offers a unique opportunity to focus on what's truly important and reduce our mental load. Understanding the concept, the meaning of memento mori is to recognize that life is finite. Each of us will leave this world someday, and by accepting this as a given, we can see more clearly how we spend our time and energy. With so many distractions and busy lives, we often forget that our time is limited. This awareness can be a powerful motivator to rethink our priorities and prioritize what really matters. Focus on priorities. One of the main effects of practicing memento mori is the ability to focus on priorities. When you know that your time is limited, it becomes easier to get rid of the unnecessary and keep only what really matters. For example, if you are working on a project that requires a lot of time and effort, consider whether it is really worth your attention. Maybe there are more important personal goals, such as family, health, or hobbies, that you are putting off for later. As an example, imagine a situation where you spend a lot of time at work, but deprive yourself of communication with loved ones. Reflecting on the brevity of life, you may realize that it is more important to devote time to family, since these moments will stay with you forever, unlike many professional achievements that can quickly become obsolete. In this way, Memento Mori helps you choose to celebrate family gatherings, travel, and other important events, letting go of what doesn't matter. Embracing the concept of memento mori also allows you to let go of what doesn't really matter. Many of us spend time and energy on things that seem important, but don't actually bring us happiness or fulfillment. These could be conflicts with coworkers, minor difficulties in our daily lives, or even social media addiction. For example, if you often worry about what others think of you, reflecting on the fact that life is short can help you release this burden. Instead of seeking approval, you can focus on what truly inspires and brings you joy. Reflecting on the finiteness of life can lead to the understanding that it is much more important to spend time with those you care about and do things that bring you joy. Examples of practice. To integrate memento mori into your life, try using some simple practices. Addition, quiet reflection improves the quality of sleep. Taking time to reflect and quiet your mind can help reduce the amount of anxious thoughts that often plague us before bed. By practicing these moments before falling asleep, you create a relaxing environment, which allows you to fall asleep faster and improves the quality of your sleep. As a result, you wake up more rested and ready to take on the day. Quiet reflection also has a positive effect on concentration and productivity. When you free your thoughts from unnecessary noise and chaos, your mind becomes clearer, which makes it easier to focus on tasks. For example, you may notice that after a short break for reflection, you solve work issues faster and more effectively. This is because a clear mind copes better with tasks and makes more conscious decisions. In addition, reflection helps develop emotional intelligence. You become more attentive to your feelings and emotions. Learn to recognize them and express them correctly. This is useful not only for personal development. You can also journal about your thoughts and feelings. This process will help you become more aware of internal changes and achievements. Ultimately, regaining your peace and inner balance is a process that takes time and effort, but the rewards are enormous. You will learn to live more consciously and with less anxiety. You will be able to cope with life's challenges more easily, and you will discover new depths of your inner world. Take advantage of this practice, and you will be able to enjoy life to the fullest, finding harmony and satisfaction. 8. Free yourself from mental noise. Reminding yourself of the fleeting nature of existence will give you the clarity and courage you need to focus on what matters most. It allows you to free yourself from the mental noise that overwhelms you and stop clinging to things that have no long-term significance. In today's world, filled with constant information overload and endless distractions, many of us face the problem of mental noise. This noise is not only physical sounds, but also the vast number of thoughts, worries, and anxieties that fill our consciousness. This creates tension, interferes with concentration, and makes it difficult to recognize what is truly important in life. One way to cope with this situation is to remind yourself of the fleeting nature of existence. Recognizing the fleeting nature of existence, reminding yourself that life is fleeting may seem bleak, but it is actually a powerful source of motivation and clarity. When you realize that time is limited, it becomes easier to separate the important from the unimportant. This allows you to take control of your thoughts and focus on the priorities that really matter in your life. For example, consider a situation where you are stuck in a rut, constantly putting off your dreams and desires for later. Remind yourself that every moment has value and act in accordance with this awareness. You can ask yourself, if I don't start doing what I love, will I have the opportunity to do it later? This can be a powerful impetus to take action and help you break free from procrastination. Gaining clarity and courage. Freeing yourself from mental noise will give you clarity that will allow you to focus on what is important. When there is less clutter and unnecessary thoughts in your head, you are able to see the situation more objectively and make more informed decisions. For example, if you are free from unnecessary worries about what others think of you, you will be able to act more confidently and follow your own path. The courage to make decisions and take action often comes from a place of clarity. When you understand exactly what is important, you are less shy and afraid to express your thoughts and feelings. This is especially true in your personal and professional relationships. You become more comfortable setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and following your principles. For example, if you are working on a project that does not align with your values, recognizing the importance of time can lead to a meaningful no, rather than wasting time on something insignificant. 6. Restore calm and inner balance. This practice will help you find inner peace and control over your thoughts. Restoring your calm will spill over into your daily life, and inner balance will allow you to live with greater awareness. In today's world, where we are constantly surrounded by information and impressions, it is easy to overlook the importance of inner peace. Restoring harmony within yourself is not just a useful practice, it is a tool that can change your life. With the practice of quiet reflection and mindfulness, you can find inner peace and control over your thoughts. Start by setting aside time for yourself each day, even if it is only 10-15 minutes. During this time, you can relax and pay attention to your breathing. Deep inhalations and exhalations help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation. This feeling of calm you experience allows you to free your mind from unnecessary thoughts, clearing the space for deeper self-knowledge. When you take the time to restore calm, you begin to notice how these moments affect your daily life. For example, stressful situations that used to make you panic or irritate now seem different. You learn to view them with distance and understanding. Take, for example, a busy day at work. Instead of panicking over deadline pressure, you can use the self-regulation skills you developed during moments of quiet reflection. This will help you stay focused on tasks and make informed decisions, which will ultimately lead to improved work performance. The inner balance achieved through this practice allows you to live with greater mindfulness. This means that you become more aware of your emotions, realizing that they are normal and natural. For example, if you feel angry or anxious, you begin to acknowledge these feelings rather than suppress them. This allows you to strengthen your emotional resilience and ability to manage your reactions. By practicing mindfulness, you are also able to become more aware of your surroundings. It can be as simple as enjoying the warmth of the sun on your skin, smelling the fresh air, or listening to the sounds of nature. These moments help you become more grateful for what you have, and often fill your life with joy and satisfaction. Don't forget the physical aspect too. Restoring your calm can lead to improvements in your physical health. Learning to control your thoughts and emotions reduces stress, which has a positive effect on your cardiovascular system, improves the quality of your sleep, and increases your overall energy level. For example, you may notice that you are less tired at the end of the day and find it easier to wake up in the morning. To reinforce the habit of restoring calm and inner balance, consider making this practice part of your daily routine. Perhaps it's a morning meditation over a cup of tea or a yoga class that will help set a positive tone for the day. 3. Don't suppress thoughts, observe them. Why it's important to observe your thoughts rather than suppress them. Thought suppression, especially intrusive or anxious ones, seems like a natural way to cope with discomfort. We often try to drown out unpleasant thoughts or distract ourselves, thinking that this will help get rid of them. However, suppression leads to the opposite result. Thoughts only intensify, remain in the background, and continue to cause stress. In contrast, mindful observation allows us to let go of control and see thoughts as they are, without the need to change them. This creates a release effect, reducing tension and anxiety. How thought observation works. Observation is an approach in which you see your thoughts as events in your mind, without giving them meaning or clinging to them. Imagine that thoughts are like clouds, floating across the sky. They appear and disappear, without leaving a trace. You can simply watch them without interacting with them. This method helps to avoid the vicious circle of overanalysis and frees up mental space. Practical steps for observing thoughts. 1. Identify the thought you want to let go. When an anxious or obsessive thought arises, simply note it. Do not immediately try to understand where it came from or why it appeared. The task at this stage is simply to acknowledge its existence without engaging in analysis. 2. Try to distance yourself from the meaning of the thought. Try to distance yourself from the meaning of the thought, as if it were just a set of words that do not concern you personally. Remind yourself that a thought is just a thought, and it does not define your current state or personality. 3. Observe the thought without suppressing it. Instead of chasing the thought, just allow it to be. This does not mean that you agree with it or accept it as the truth. You simply allow it to exist. For example, if the thought "I can't handle it" comes, notice it and imagine it as a frame on the screen of your mind. Gradually, you will see that it loses its power and does not cause such stress. 4. Focus on your breathing to distract yourself. If thoughts become too intrusive, return to your breathing. Take a deep breath in and out, observing the movement of air. This switch to breathing helps. Return attention to bodily sensations and temporarily distance yourself from mental images. 5. Let go of the thought, like a cloud that goes away. Imagine that the thought dissolves or floats away. You can even imagine how it goes away, like a cloud or a leaf that is carried away by the wind. This visualization helps you symbolically let go of the thought and see that you can exist without it. Practical example. Throughout the day, imagine that you often wake up worried about tasks at work and immediately grab your phone. Try changing this by starting a new day with a minute of silence. During this minute, just sit with your eyes closed and observe your thoughts. You may notice that the anxiety recedes and more confidence appears. During the day, when restless thoughts come again, you can mentally return to this moment of silence and feel a state of calm again. Helpful tips for successful practice. Regularity. Try to practice a minute of silence every morning, even if it lasts only a few minutes. Regularity helps to strengthen the habit and increase its effect on your state of mind. Avoid your phone before the practice. Try not to check your phone until you have completed a minute of silence. It is important that the mind first focuses on the calm and not on external stimuli. This makes the practice more effective. Remind yourself of the importance of the moment. If you feel like you can skip a minute of silence, remind yourself that this short time helps you start the day mindfully and avoid chaos. Result: gradually, by adding a minute of silence to your morning, you will begin to notice how your mood and productivity change. This simple practice helps maintain a state of clarity, strengthens the ability to concentrate, and reduces stress. You will feel that it becomes easier and calmer to start the day, and you will see a positive impact on your well-being and relationships with others. This minute creates the basis for a more mindful and harmonious day. 6. End the practice in a calm state. After a few minutes, slowly open your eyes and return to the present, maintaining this sense of detachment and calm. Try to carry this state of silence and clarity with you into your future activities. Example of a daily practice. Imagine that every morning before starting your day, you set aside 5-10 minutes for quiet reflection. You sit down and allow your thoughts to simply flow without reacting to them. For example, thoughts about upcoming tasks may arise, but you decide not to engage with them, but simply observe them. Over time, this practice will become easy and will allow you to find moments of calm in any situation, even in the middle of a busy day. Additional tips for improving your practice. Practice every day, even if it is difficult to maintain attention at first. Regular short sessions will help gradually develop the skill. Over time, it will become easier to notice your thoughts without judgment. Create mini pauses throughout the day. If you feel overwhelmed, try taking 1-2 minute breaks throughout the day to return to a state of quiet reflection. This will help you cope with stress more quickly and restore inner balance. Don't expect instant results. Like any practice, quiet reflection takes time. The first results may be subtle, but over time you will feel that you are able to maintain clarity and calm in any situation. Result: regular quiet reflection helps to reduce mental noise and create a clearer, calmer mind. This practice allows you to begin to see everyday thoughts in a new light, without the constant need to react to them. As a result, you begin to approach tasks and difficulties with greater confidence and calm, feeling that you have control over your inner state. 5. Build a habit of quiet reflection. By gradually setting aside time for these moments each day, you build self-control and the ability to manage your thoughts, allowing you to live a more balanced and mindful life. Quiet reflection teaches us that we don't have to control every thought or emotion, but simply observe them. This creates a space free of judgment and pressure, which helps us gain a clearer and more realistic perspective on our day and ourselves. Building a habit of quiet reflection is essential for our inner comfort and self-understanding. By setting aside a little time each day for quiet reflection, you can actually improve your self-control and learn to manage your thoughts better. Quiet reflection is not about trying to control every thought or emotion. Rather, it is about simply observing them without judging anything. This creates a space free of pressure and judgment. As a result, you get the opportunity to better understand what is happening inside you, as well as to form a clearer and more realistic perspective on the present day and on yourself as a whole. Thus, by devoting time to reflection, you help yourself feel better and make more balanced decisions. Strengthen the habit of quiet reflection. This is an important step towards living more consciously and harmoniously. In our fast-paced world, full of noise and fuss, we often forget to stop and listen to ourselves. But it is in moments of silence and reflection that we can find inner peace and clarity. Try to set aside at least 10-15 minutes a day for quiet reflection. Find a quiet place where no one will disturb you. This can be a corner of your home, a cozy cafe, or even nature. Remember, such moments are not just meditation, but an opportunity to recheck your thoughts and feelings. For example, you can just sit with a cup of tea or coffee, looking out the window. Allow yourself to be aware of the world around you, to hear the rustling of leaves or the singing of birds. This simple act helps to quiet the mind. When you begin to practice quiet reflection regularly, you strengthen your self-control. You learn to manage the flow of your thoughts, observing them like passing clouds. This means that instead of fighting every emotion, you learn to accept them. For example, if you are feeling anxious about an upcoming task at work, simply acknowledge the feeling. Say to yourself, "Yes, I am worried right now, and that is okay." This creates a space free from pressure and self-criticism. Such observation helps to gain a healthy perspective on everyday affairs. You begin to realize that you do not have to control every thought. Instead, allow them to come and go, like the flow of water in a river. This creates clarity in your head and teaches you to accept yourself as you are. Eventually, you will notice that it is these moments of reflection that help you make better decisions. Look back on your day and analyze what went well and what could be changed. One way to do this is to keep a journal, where you write down your thoughts about your goals, priorities, and what is truly important to you. It is also helpful to set up reminders on your phone or computer with phrases that will remind you of the brevity of life and the importance of each moment. You can also implement a meditation practice on the topic of memento mori. During meditation, focus on your feelings associated with the idea that life is finite. This will help clarify your thoughts and give you an opportunity to understand what is truly important to you. You can reflect on your dreams and desires, and how you can realize them, while time allows. Summary: thus, the practice of memento mori is a powerful tool for increasing awareness of your life and priorities. It helps you focus on what is important, let go of the unnecessary, and begin to appreciate each moment. Reflecting on the brevity of life will help you approach your decisions and actions more consciously, which will ultimately lead to greater satisfaction and joy in life. You can do this by asking yourself, is this thought helping or hindering me right now? 4. The one task at a time principle. Multitasking increases overload, so focus on doing one thing at a time. Try to break the habit of thinking about several things at once, especially while working. Divide your tasks by time and work on each one separately, creating a clear beginning and end for each task. This will help you be more productive and reduce mental pressure. 5. Regular short breaks. Allow yourself to take short breaks throughout the day to clear your mind. This could be a short walk, a stretch, or just a few minutes of silence. Such a break helps the brain to clear the accumulated noise and refresh itself for the next task. 6. Practice meditation and mindful breathing. Meditation and breathing exercises can help calm the mind and reduce stress. Even 5-10 minutes of deep, calm breathing brings the mind back to the present moment, and meditation helps you learn to stop clinging to thoughts by observing them from a distance. Application example. Imagine a workday filled with meetings, deadlines, and many small tasks. At the beginning of the day, take 5 minutes to write down a to-do list in a notebook or app. Prioritize, giving each task an estimated time to complete. As the day progresses, whenever you find yourself thinking about everything at once, remind yourself of the list and return to doing one task at a time. When you pause, focus on your breathing, letting go of everything unnecessary, and notice how much clearer your mind becomes. Result: as the mental load decreases, you feel more calm, as your mind is freed from unnecessary tension. It helps you organize your thoughts better, make informed decisions, and focus on the things that really matter, which ultimately leads to improved mood and overall well-being. This not only helps you understand yourself, but also promotes personal growth. Quiet reflection becomes your personal practice, which helps you live a more balanced and joyful life. It is also important to remember that quiet reflection not only helps you understand yourself, but also enriches your life with new ideas. When you turn off the outside world and let your thoughts flow freely, insights often come. This could be a solution to a problem that you have been struggling with for a long time, a new idea for a project, or even an understanding of something important in your relationships with loved ones. For example, you may realize that you have not been spending enough time with your friend, and perhaps you should call him or her and meet. Another important aspect of quiet reflection is the opportunity to simply be alone with yourself. This practice reminds us that we are our own best friends. In a world full of constant busyness and stress, such moments help us reconnect with ourselves, grasp our true desires and needs. For example, you can think, what really brings me joy? Maybe it's taking a walk in the fresh air or reading that book you've been putting off for a long time. In this way, you begin to make more conscious choices in favor of what is truly important to you. Keep in mind that for many people, these moments of silence can be a challenge. At first, it may seem difficult to stop the flow of thoughts. If so, don't worry, this is absolutely normal. Start with small steps. For example, try keeping a thought journal. Write down everything that comes to mind without judging or stopping. This will help clear your mind and open the way for deeper reflection in the future. Another enjoyable way to reinforce the habit of quiet reflection is to do it with music. Create a playlist of calming melodies that will accompany your moments of silence. Music helps deepen the process of self-awareness and create an atmosphere that is conducive to reflection. For example, you can listen to the sounds of nature or melodies without words that will not distract, but only emphasize the atmosphere of solitude. As a result, quiet reflection becomes not just a habit, but a real practice that enriches your life. It allows you to manage your emotions, find clarity and harmony, and also supports you on the path of personal growth. By making these moments a part of your day, you create space for a conscious and balanced existence, which, in turn, brings joy and satisfaction. Allow yourself this time, discovering new horizons of self-knowledge and inner peace. Quiet reflection has many health benefits that cannot be ignored. First of all, this practice helps reduce stress levels. In moments of silence and relaxation, you give your body a chance to recover. Research shows that regular meditation and reflection can reduce levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, which in turn contributes to an improvement in overall well-being. 4. Start your day with a minute of silence. Why a minute of silence at the beginning of your day is important. When we wake up, our minds are immediately faced with a flood of tasks, to-dos, news, messages, and expectations. This puts us in a state of mental stress before the day even begins, especially if the first thing we do is look at our phone or start thinking about tasks. A minute of silence allows us to slow down, come back to ourselves, and begin our day mindfully. with a sense of inner calm and clarity. This practice helps break the habitual automatism and sets the stage for a more balanced and productive day. How a minute of silence affects the mind and emotions. Starting the day in silence creates space for concentration and improves the ability to focus on important tasks. It helps prevent feelings of overwhelm and reduces anxiety. A minute of silence sets the mind for conscious decision-making and helps avoid chaotic immersion in routine. As we get used to such a pause, the brain begins to perceive it as a signal to relax and prepare for a new day with clarity. Step-by-step guide to practicing morning silence. 1. Choose a suitable time. The best time for a minute of silence is immediately after waking up. Try to set aside at least 1-2 minutes before you start actively interacting with the outside world, for example, turning on your phone or starting work tasks. Find a quiet place where no one will interrupt you. 2. Sit in a comfortable position with your back straight. Sit on your bed or in a chair so that you can relax but remain alert. It is important to maintain a comfortable and calm posture. Do not lie down, so as not to feel sleepy. 3. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in and out, allowing your body and mind to relax. Focus on the sensations of your breath, how the air enters and leaves your lungs. Feel each movement. This helps bring your attention back to the present moment. 4. Let thoughts come and go. You may have chaotic or disturbing thoughts right after waking up. Just observe them without trying to analyze or plan. Imagine them as waves that roll in and out, leaving a calm sea behind them. If thoughts about the day ahead arise, note them, but don't get carried away by them. 5. Focus on gratitude or a positive intention. At the end of the minute, you can thank yourself for this practice and create a small mood for the day. For example, think of something good you would like to bring into the day: calm, confidence, or attention to people. This charges the beginning of the day positively and directs the mind in an optimistic way. 6. Smoothly end the practice and open your eyes. Slowly open your eyes. Take another deep breath and tune into a new day. Feel how the state of peace remains with you. Gradually move into your morning routine, trying to maintain this mindset. Example: how morning silence helps. Practical example: imagine that before an important event, the thought comes to you, "I can fail." Instead of starting an internal dialogue and convincing yourself otherwise or pushing the thought away, try this. Simply acknowledge that the thought is there. Notice it and stop analyzing it. Then gently switch to breathing, allowing the thought to dissolve. You will understand that without a fight, anxiety retreats faster, and you feel more collected and confident. Tips for successful observation of thoughts. Create windows for practice every day. Set aside 5-10 minutes a day to practice observing thoughts. These can be morning minutes of silence or breaks at work. Over time, it will become easier for you not to react to your thoughts and simply notice them. Do not analyze or evaluate thoughts. This is important. Try to simply observe, without drawing conclusions or trying to figure out the thoughts. Remember that the point of this practice is to let thoughts be, and not to look for answers to every internal question. Remember the experience of letting go of thoughts. When you see that an anxious thought passes, notice this state. You can even start a diary to record moments of awareness and letting go of thoughts. This will help build confidence in your abilities. Result: when you stop suppressing and start observing thoughts, the mind gets the freedom and space it needs. You are no longer carried away by endless thoughts, but leave them aside. Thanks to this practice, obsessive thought cycles go away, clarity appears, and you become calmer and more balanced. This method teaches you to see your thoughts without fear and allows you to live in the present moment without getting hung up on what does not bring benefit. 9. Focus on the present. Practicing memento mori is not about thinking about death with anxiety, but rather reminding yourself of the importance of living fully in the present. This principle helps you focus on your priorities, decide what is worth spending your time and energy on, and let go of superficial concerns. Rather, it is an invitation to recognize the value of each moment of your life and live in a way that fills each day with meaning. Reminding yourself of the fleeting nature of existence becomes a useful tool for focusing on the present, making more conscious decisions, and setting priorities. Recognizing the importance of the present. When we realize that life is finite, we begin to value every minute. This realization can become the impetus for a profound change in our perception of time and life in general. Instead of living in the future, constantly dreaming about what will be, or in the past, experiencing failures, we begin to pay attention to what is happening here and now. For example, imagine you are with friends, but instead of fully enjoying the moment, you are worried about tomorrow's tasks at work or how you will spend the weekend. Realizing that this time with friends may be the only time you have will teach you to turn off the external mental noise and perceive socializing as a valuable opportunity. Focus on priorities. Focusing on the present allows you to better prioritize your life. When we understand that time is limited, we begin to be more principled about what we are willing to spend our energy on. Instead of dwelling on trivialities and stressful situations, we can ask ourselves, what really matters to me? For example, if you constantly feel stressed at work and have an idea about going on vacation, this principle will help you determine what is important: maintaining your health and resting for recovery, rather than closing yourself in a routine and working without rest. By setting priorities, you will be able to make more conscious decisions that will help you fulfill your true desires. Letting go of superficial concerns. Memento Mori also teaches us to let go of superficial concerns and trivialities that weigh us down. Many of us tend to overemphasize situations that don't actually have long-term value. This could be arguments with coworkers, caring too much about what strangers think, or the need to follow trends and society's expectations. For example, if you receive a negative comment on social media, consciously reminding yourself that life is short can help you stop dwelling on it. This approach will help you realize that what's more important is how you feel about yourself and how you spend time with the people who matter to you, rather than the opinions of self-proclaimed critics. Enriching the present moment. Focusing on the present allows you to enrich every moment of your life. Start paying attention to details that previously went unnoticed: the taste of food, the smiles of loved ones, the beauty of nature. This will help you learn to appreciate simple joys and make them a part of your daily existence. When you are diligent in living in the present moment, you may realize that moments of happiness are often hidden in this simplicity. For example, a walk in the park with a loved one can be a wonderful experience if you focus on the company and the beauty of the world around you, rather than on how much work there is to do. Practical ways to focus on the present. 1. Mindfulness practice. Regularly set aside time for meditation or yoga, which will help you tune your mind to the here and now. 2. Gratitude journal. Keep a journal in which, every night, write down at least 3 things you are grateful for. This will direct your attention to the positive aspects of the present moment. 3. Goal questions. Each time you begin to get distracted by unnecessary thoughts, ask yourself, what is important now, and what action will bring me the most joy in this moment? 4. Don't multitask. Try to focus on one task at a time, without allowing any distractions to interfere with your attention. Conclusion: thus, focusing on the present, supported by the practice of Memento Mori, allows you not only to avoid anxiety about the future and regrets about the past, but also to gain clarity, courage, and meaning in each moment of life. This approach will help you free yourself from superficial worries, focus on what really matters, and ultimately, build a more satisfying and fulfilling life. Start applying these principles today, and spend your time and energy on what really matters. 10. Filter unnecessary thoughts. Recognizing that some of the problems, worries, or distractions that occupy your mind are not so significant in the grand scheme of things, can free you from unnecessary thoughts. Remember the fleeting nature of life to focus on what is truly important and filter out unnecessary thoughts. Let's figure out what it means to filter out unnecessary thoughts and how you can do it. Filtering unnecessary thoughts means the ability to exert power from the unimportant and temporary. When our minds are occupied with many thoughts, especially worries, stress, and unnecessary circumstances. This can push us away from other goals and important activities. Getting rid of any thoughts, we can direct our power to what is more important. Step 1. Understanding which thoughts will not bring benefit. Sometimes our busy brains have streams that do not really require our attention. For example, small everyday problems, past experiences, worries about a future we cannot count on. These thoughts distract us from the present moment and our daily lives, causing stress. Step 2. Realize the fleeting nature of life. Step 3. Do the following. Write on paper. When anxious or intrusive thoughts come to mind, write them down. This will help separate them from your consciousness and reduce the emotional charge. Meditation and concentration. On breathing, short meditations allow you to slow down the flow of thoughts and focus on the present. Question: is this important to me? Before you spend time and effort, answer this question carefully. 11. Become more mindful of your decisions. We cannot control time, but we can decide how to use it. Life is limited and precious, so wasting time on negative thoughts, resentments, or distractions only takes us away from living a fulfilling life. The practice of memento mori allows us to be more mindful of our decisions, avoiding unnecessary mental noise and focusing on what is important. Mindfulness in decisions means being able to choose how we want to live each moment. This is an important skill because although we cannot control time, it happens regardless of our desires. We can decide how to use it. Life is limited, and awareness of these values helps us to avoid empty thoughts and actions. Directing our attention. What does it mean to be mindful of our choices? Making conscious decisions means making a choice with full understanding of its consequences. It is an opportunity to stop and ask yourself questions. Why am I doing this? What will this choice bring me? When we act mindfully, we are less likely to give in to negativity, resentment, or impulsive distractions. When you recognize the fleeting nature of time, you can stop and ask yourself, will this matter to me in a year? If the answer is no, then perhaps this situation is not worth so much attention and time. Identify what is truly important to you. The memento mori practice is constantly asking questions about your values and goals. If time is limited, what would you rather spend it on? Get rid of mental noise. Mental noise is meaningless, and structured thoughts and sounds that only interfere with concentration. The memento mori practice teaches us to free ourselves from such thoughts, realizing that we have more valuable things to do. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like.